Hello all my Kenvians and welcome to a new episode of Discovering Steven Universe. Today the episode I'm going to be watching, worriedly, is Rocknaldo. And I say worriedly because Ronaldo isn't my favorite character, so to speak. He has been quite funny and has been entertaining at times and has actually played, some pretty nice roles at certain points, but he's one of the most potentially problematic characters, I feel like, as far as the humans go. So, yeah, I'm just curious to see how this is going to go. So, without any further ado, let's get into Rocknaldo. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Speech City! Protect yourself against the menace that threatens Speech City.
Hi, Onion.
Mr. Smiley, protect yourself against...
They're adding mind-controlling minerals to our water supply. They hate men?
Fraud.
What is this?
See my documentary, Rising Tides, Crashing Skies.
Crystal gems don't just fight.
Is that an actual thing?
We are rock people.
I suppose it's a good thing that he's taking time to think.
Yeah.
There's a new post.
Day loyal followers. I'm joining the Crystal Gem!
You're what?
Awesome. No longer Steven!
Ronaldo, isn't it great that someone is actually interested in what we do? What
Well,
better way to show
and
more about
Connie
them than
is
accept them as a crystal gem
accepted
too?
as a...
Take the stairs.
I'm sorry, Blood Fry. You're going
Blood Fry.
It's a bit dangerous.
Didn't see you there. So, how'd the mission go without me holding you back?
It went fine,
Funny that you sleep when gems don't need sleep.
He's part human.
I
Yeah.
I'm a crystal gem.
Who are you to tell anyone how to be a crystal gem?
Yeah.
You're just a guy with a blog.
Thank you.
Is that love? Is that...
This is my whole life. Do you care about that or not?
Oh, good. He passed out.
I'm so hard he died. Bloodstone.
Well, what do we do with Fry Rocco now?
Fry Rocco.
Now he's back. That's rough, buddy. You want me to put that in the Renault flip?
No.
Maybe not.
Got it.
Okay. Hmm. Ronaldo, dude. Yeah, I'm sorry that. God forbid I use the word, but that was filler. That episode didn't matter at all. It just didn't. It's like, oh, okay, Ronaldo learned something about himself, maybe not entirely accurately, but God. It's like nothing was accomplished there. Nothing there really mattered. It's like Steven... The only thing that mattered is that Steven always tries to help people. And understandably, he did like the fact that a human was wanting to be of help to the crystal gems. The problem is, and it's pointed out almost entirely by this episode, really the best human allies they have, well, okay, ally as far as like active participant is Connie, and then of course there's Greg. But just Ronaldo being there served no purpose. It was just dumb. I don't know. I feel like if Ronaldo had actually learned something from that experience, if he had learned something to better himself, which I think the closest approximation to that would be how he changed his pamphlets. I'm not saying what he calls them, but he changed his pamphlets to be more kind and accepting toward the crystal gems, which, you know, can potentially help people come to understand them a little bit more. The problem is that he doesn't, it's like he has his theories about the crystal gems, but he doesn't actually know much of anything. He just kind of makes it all up. So even in being helpful, he's not really being all that helpful. At worst, it seems like he's not being genuine. I don't know, maybe that's just my perspective. But yeah, I don't know. It just seemed to me like he didn't learn anything overall, other than the fact that when he was there, he was acting like a jerk. But the problem is that's kind of seemingly what he's supposed to have learned during most of their interactions in the past. I just don't know. The only thing I can say though is I'm not a fan of this episode. I mean, obviously me saying that it's filler should be quite obvious there, but yeah, just whenever I come about and rewatch these episodes, this will be one that I skip, just because it doesn't have really that many redeeming qualities. It does have a few funny moments, but aside from that, yeah, there's just not much to it. It did have a wonderful quote, though, one that I made sure to write down. It's from Amethyst. After Steven confronts Ronaldo, and Ronaldo just kind of finally collapses from absolute tiredness from not sleeping at all. You truthed him so hard he died. I feel like that's something I want to try and be able to say in my own life at some point, just when someone lays a major smackdown on some douchebag. You truthed him so hard, he died. That was just a phenomenal line, honestly, in my opinion. Now, there are some other aspects to this episode that, I mean, I did find funny because it was kind of poking fun at, well, very much poking fun at a lot of people that tend to be very vocal about their opinions online, of which I am included. I could be included in that for sure. I am very vocal about my political beliefs and all that. Ronaldo, the ones that I tend to have issue with, and this includes Ronaldo, is when they're the major conspiracy theorists. Your Alex Jones, your, I don't think he has a show anymore, but your Bill O'Reillys, that kind of stuff. And I apologize if me pointing out those characters, yeah, they're basically characters in particular, offends you, but yeah, that's honestly how I view it. So yeah, Ronaldo is kind of, in many ways, I would fit him up with them, not to the horrible degree that I would put them, but just as a character, he is the crazy conspiracy theorist that doesn't really bring anything to the show, in my opinion. Again, there are moments and like little lines when he is funny, but overall as a character, I just don't care for him. And I hate to say that because I feel like pretty much every character in the show has some redeeming qualities, and maybe his is that every now and then he's funny. I don't know. If you feel like I'm being a little bit too hard on Ronaldo, please do let me know. I know there are some people that do like Ronaldo. They're more far and few in between than when it comes to the fandom on this show, but I do know they're there. So if you disagree with me, both on this episode and on Ronaldo as a whole, please do let me know in the comments down below. I would love to have a conversation with you. I would love to discuss, maybe, at the very least, I'd like to know your perspective on it. And of course, let's keep it civil. Again, I apologize if me talking about certain people here has offended anyone, but that's, it's my show, so I'm just saying what comes to mind here. But that being said, everyone, thank you very much for being here for this episode. Let me know your thoughts on this episode, and as well as what I've had to say in the comments down below. And yeah, I've really said all I can about this episode as a whole. It's not for me. It's not for me unless someone can point out a really strong argument as to why this episode is worth rewatching in the future. It'll be a skip for me. But next time, we'll be watching Tiger Philanthropist, which, if I remember correctly, in the first season, there was the episode Tiger Millionaire, which was Steven's wrestling persona alongside Amethyst's, is it the Purple Puma? Something like that. But yeah, I'm gonna guess that this is sort of a return of the character. Maybe they'll be wrestling again? I don't know. I'm interested to see how this is going to, what all's going to happen here. But one thing I do want to say, if you're interested in watching more episodes like this, my Discovering Doctor Who series, Discovering Classic Doctor Who series, as well as others, ahead of time before they become public on YouTube, you can go over to patreon.com/PapaKennMedia, and for as little as $1 a month, you can get access to the episodes ahead of time, anywhere from about a day to possibly upwards of a week. It depends on how much I have completed and how much time I've had to work on them. But regardless, until next time, everyone, for Tiger Philanthropist, I am Papa Ken, and I will see you in the next episode of Discovering Steven Universe.